constructed in East Portland. Must we say then it is a Mark, mute your mic, Mark. Must we then say that it's a People's National Party project? When Mrs. Vaz went and allocated funds from her Action and Foundation, 16 million for the shed in the Musgrave Market, must we then say that the PNP do it? When Mrs. Vaz, as Cassie would know, raise funds, forget the cancer, the individuals would like to be tested for their cancer, breast cancer, and so forth and so on. Must we say then, well, it was a PNP initiative? The individuals, as the Bible said, what is due unto Caesar, give it to Caesar, and what belongs to God, give it to God. What that means is that whosoever should get credit for whatever they have done, give it to them. Give to Caesar his tax, give to God his praise. Anybody that went out and lobbied for whatever must be credited. No. Can we say that Mrs. Vaz must get credit for Freed Vibes Cartel? No. You know who, when there was a process and other lawyers was involved. However, the nation know that such man do him do and whatever. And it was free.
I don't do nothing. I'm not 18 on Isaac or anything. I never in Free Cartel.
But we know that. But we never got down
in the High Court in England send back the Privy Court in England just send back the whatever to Jamaica.
Well, we know that, but we never go down to the specifics. We just assure that, listen, whomever did what must get credit for whatever they have done. No, if our government has been sustaining the economy and growing it so well, should we then say that, well, Omar Davis, when he did one look up, boy, did put in that something here and make it grow, when Omar Davis did nothing to help the economy, but ensured, based on what I have read, that Mark, that BNG benefited backs of poor people. So this is what we are supposed to believe. Listen, and that is why when I go in the street and I see somebody PNP them say, you hate me, hate you chat too much and so forth. I say to myself, they hate me because I'm speaking the truth. They don't hate because I'm telling a lie on them. The fact still remains is that none can come on any platform and say that, listen, this is the truth or that is the truth. They have to just stand up and say, listen, that boy chat too much, man. Like the other day, Shaka Fame went on his live to show that it's like me, I mess with him head. He went on a live and he started to rant. Him crash out completely. Yeti boy. And at the same time, I asked the question on social media and he cannot answer it. What has he done for East Portlanders? I'm not talking about keeping jerk face and ensure that the people have to pay some high price to get in and even be vendors down there. Me talk about when you get the funds and know when the Musgrave victims were there, what did you do? What did your leader do? When I just came to East Portland, I'm going to remind people constantly, one of the first things I did was to formulate a foundation and assist the vulnerable, the youths, and get youth clubs and other things to ensure them are right.
Yes,
when I posted the water shop the other day, them realizing that there's no water in the constituency as a result of drought, such man say, and not giving an indication whether he's going to assist those who are most likely to suffer heavier than some, like getting truck water to them or whatever. He have not stated that. He just came on a platform and said, listen, the nation is facing a drought, and as such, everybody have a brace of what is to come. And now, when Mrs. Vaz normally tells her East Portland family, listen, we're in a drought period, and as such, we're asking you to conserve on your water. You know what she finishes with? But my water truck will be out working to ensure that even a little bit of water will be in your household. Mrs. Vaz lobbied for 2 water shops in areas where there's no water, absolute no water. That these water shops that holds nearly 30 to 40,000 gallons of water, them filled, individuals can drive, go there, catch them water and go back home or whatever the case. One in Commodore and one by Windsor Forest Primary. The man go on a platform and said that is not how you help individuals. For 30 odd years they had the seat and they did not consider for putting one tap. Mrs. Vaz went into almost every committee that had water issues and put stand and two 1,000 gallon tank and some 3 to ensure that, listen, it is there as a stop the gap, but listen, we are putting in the necessary pipes, are doing this or that to ensure that water is a possibility right across the constituency in the near future. Them have it for 30 odd years and them not do none of this. If these things were put in place, why then Mrs. Vaz would have so much road to be done? It amazed me when people show a bad road in East Portland and they must say, oh, that road they bad. It amazed me that everybody think that Mrs. Vaz will take 5 years and do every single road in East Portland. While the PNP did little to nothing. While I still have the councillors them there for 30 odd years and them can't show nothing when them do. Wayne Mackenzie I start build one Rio Grande Valley in a prospect. Because him can fathom Shaka lose again, so look like him a building one Rio Grande by farming. Every time they clean the drain, then put it dirt in the road and so it get higher and higher. So I guess it must start film one Rio Grande Valley down on the flat. But guess what? The PNP that lives in this community, them quite contented, you know. But as soon as there's an issue, them say, back then they might say, well, I Miss Vaz to get this done, I Miss Vaz to get that done. We know as a government and as individuals need to inform the public the difference between central government and local government. Important. So that when you go up on one road, we roll and have 30 odd years, we not fix, but you can go up and say, you might ask MP to fix it, plain politics. Individuals need to understand that, listen, at 30 odd years, the road not fixed, and at him, at the councillor for 30 odd years, what have he done? Other friend going at every bar.
You don't know what you take. Well, I'm not interrupt you. Like, what I for the see it. You see, Ocho's bypass, the government have to pay $4.4 million. Somebody sue. You know what cause that? Omar Davis. You don't see Philippine pay papa on TikTok. Yes. 4.5 million. One land issue. And from Omar Davis days that, you know. Did you know that? So, Bloomfield will do nothing for Portland. Bloomfield will do nothing for Portland. You understand me? Bloomfield will do nothing, you know. Anne-Marie met this PNP Labour City Light of the day at Portland, you know.
But Fitzroy Guthrie said something about what he said. Let me read what he said. He said, was the economic reform program done by the JLP? Yes, it started in 2010. Yes. The Governor General, there's a document signed
2007 and Bruce Golding.
GG and Bruce Golding and Audley Shaw were in power. Bruce Golding, the Prime Minister, Audley Shaw, the Minister of Finance. So I don't know what you're talking about.
So
anyway,
I am trying to see where. Yeah, man, when you're ready. I'm going to try to see where the individual said that Mrs. was sell water. No. Some of the time, I really wonder if individuals are off their conscious minds. I don't want to say too bad. No, we're living in a world where technology is so advanced that if you even wave your head 2 times, a man just catch up on camera. If I have the last time when I ever wave your head, if you make a TikTok video or something. Now, imagine the member of parliament water truck come in our community and you want to be a recipient of what is being distributed and you are being told that you have to purchase the item from the member of parliament. You are telling me, say, you not take out your phone and video that? And start bash. So all of social media can only think we are idiot, don't you? There's nobody in Eastern Portland who can say them buy water from Mrs. Vaz truck. It's absolutely a lie. So I don't have the time to back and forth with small-minded individuals. What I'll do, I'll place the facts there and let it be. Whomever wish to challenge whatever I'm saying can do so with facts. You can't come on a public platform and say, well, Me not like Andrew, me not like Anne-Marie, and then you see that man at the So you can't say
Yeti, me now all the time still. Anne-Marie a bounce back still, you know. She a bounce back, you know. She just a re-come again, you see it. You see it.
I know
You hear that somebody say, them nah see our man around myself. Them nah see him, you know. Them nah see him. Hey, you see that already? Them in a parliament what they are, them come let them see them here. Them don't know what to say. Wavering lines, they don't know about politics, you know. Find mash up West Indies cricket in the board, you know. West Indies Player Association, you know. Is the next man who know none about politics, you know. You see the kind of West Indies cricket they now yet boss. Look down. He make West Indies they upon decline of the weep now, wave lines, you know. Him mash up West Indies cricket, you know. So look who we have, my brother.
Alright, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, Dunkley.
Yeah, man.
What go on?
Yeah, me there, I'm also go on listening on the thing, you know, cause yo, me tell you something, brother. Me have one concern, you know, and as a citizen of this country that is governed by one party and who have another party who is supposed to, you know, be there where you call opposition. You understand? So I want question me ask how long now, and it seems like I can't find the answer, I can't hear the answer.
What's
Yeah.
the question?
What is the message of the PMP? 1. 2. Who are the messengers of the PMP? Because watch out now, brother. You know what say, even a dog can lead the PMP to victory. You know that?
Yeah, man.
Or any party to victory. But you know the most important thing that dog need? You know what it is? An effective message.
True.
You understand?
Facts.
So, but me realize say we Jamaicans, we in our era where we know fact check and we love nice more than facts. You understand? As the Spanish word describe it better for me, bochinchoso. You know what that mean? Scandalous. So you see, what even social media, you know, anything scandalous, you know, I eat them post on social media, you know. Nothing educative, informative, and entertaining. Yeah? But anything scandalous, I eat we deal with. I eat we gravitate to. And them something that we give, what they call it, lion and taps and roses and all of them something there. You understand? And then at the end of the day, we start perish because of lack of knowledge. We start suffer and then we start blame other people. You understand? It can't work. It can't work so. You understand? It can't work so. We have to be educated. You understand? On issues. You get what I mean? Because enough of people who are talking, you know, ask them to explain what they're complaining about. You ever say, brother, that you really are complaining about? So hear me now. You are complaining about that issue there. What is your contribution towards the betterment of that issue there? You understand what I'm saying? Alright, you hear people that say now down at Portland now, East Portland, then see the MP. So did you check about that before? You understand what I'm saying? A man who come from Woy and come right to your foot and come represent you. Yeah, brother, fine. But after me put you for represent me, what the difficulty me I go have? What the chances of seeing you? You understand what I say? So no, me no want to hear nobody. Me no want to hear nobody a complain, brother, about then see the man and that. You should have thought about that before. So you go say to yourself, say, you know, me there point A and I want to get to point B. How am I gonna get there? So when the man come and say, boy, me want to represent you, those are the things you're supposed to ask him, brother. Right now, me there at point A. How you going to help me to go to point B? Tell me some realistic plans. How you going to help me get there? So when you tell me your plans now, me match it versus what me already have available to me. You understand me I say? You can't come pick pie out of the sky and offer me, brother. That's not realistic. So because me educate myself on the issues that I am facing, you can't just come to me with any little promises. No, come to me with realistic plans and solutions. But at the same time, those plans and solutions that you have come with, how am I or how can I be involved in it? Me no handicap when I go sit down and I wait for you to put one spoon of food in my mouth, brother. Me can't think about myself alone. I have to think about my youths, them come up same way too. So my actions, how my actions are going to benefit them tomorrow. Because you hear them say, they always say, tomorrow provide for itself. But you know what I grew up going to realize is that what you do today determine what happens tomorrow. You understand what I say? So all we hear people are talk about, brother, we need to cut out them something there. We need to analyze and assess, research, inform ourselves before we make any decision. You can't see things that happen before your eyes and then you are going to speak the opposite of what you see. So me ask him, what is the message where the man them come to you with? What is the message? Is it a message of hope? Is it a message of vision? Or just something to tickle your ears? No, you have to define it to me. You have to define it to me. What is it? You can't define it to me, so what you go complain about for then? Don't complain. As they one thing say, don't cry to me, cry to God.
So
No.
you make some very solid point, and just to add to what you say, I bring clarity so others can understand. Just mute your mic a bit there, Mr. Dunkley. What he has basically said is that the PNP in campaigning brought what Jamaicans love, it seems. And it is known as mix-up. That is the message of the People's National Party. As soon as them see something, now the paper said, for example, the people them upset with the police and for whatever reason, them jump on that and say them are going to solve the problems where the people might have with the constable force or the police them. So then them start one whole mix up. Now look at it now. A gentleman wants to be the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and the only thing you could campaign for nearly 3.5 years is that Dr. Holness have 28 bank account. And after everything you realize that it is actually incorrect. And God would have it that they only received 28 seats. You can just imagine. So the message of the comrade them is that Andrew lie, Andrew wicked, Andrew a thief, Andrew are everything that's bad. And there are no solid facts to say that this is the truth. While you have in front of you the records to show you what had transpired in the time of FinSac, who were the players, and at the same time, them believe that they weren't thieves. They did not benefit it. It is all bogus. Then you realize that these individuals are brainwashed because they rather to believe a lie than the truth for whatever reason. You see, when individuals hate you, they are quicker to believe a lie than if you even consider the truth or the possibility of the truth. Now, look at it. From 2019, when the tragic passing of the late Dr. Bloomfield, you hear what them said from then until now? Knowing very well that it's a lie, no. They know what happened. But because guess what? It give you good political mileage, people are gullible to lie. So guess what? We are going to spin it and say, this one do that, that one do that, when the truth is right in front of you. Because of this lifestyle, and at that happen, and that happen because, and I don't really talk about it for one reason or another, you know, because man, you know, him family must have to go through this embarrassment. We're constantly I go over the same thing back and forth, and I remind individual that lifestyle why whatever happened to him. And nobody do him not outside of him lifestyle and him team one and the individual is a PNP. And guess what? These are the reasons why they will hate you, especially PNP, because you have facts and they cannot challenge facts. They'll bring fiction and gestures of whatever, just like something like the messenger for the PNP, Damian Crawford. When come with gibberish and jokes, one by one they're going to jail, one by one, and the PNP say, yeah, power, that is what they're voting for. And then the Prime Minister would say that, listen, within the next term, before it completes, we will raise minimum wage to 32,000. That means it double. And he's telling you how it will be done. It can't be done. It now gonna be done. And Lima tell him just I got thief more money. Because they hate him so much. They rather to believe a lie. Well, at the same time, if you ask them the question, when the Prime Minister took over, where was the minimum wage? And where is it now? And is it doubled? Yes or no? Them not going to answer that, you know. Them are going to try some way to navigate them way out of answering that. Them are going to tell us, well, at that time, it could have been done, but you see, now things hard, so it can't be done again. And at the same time, you're going to have a PNP, them know, the leaders of must say, $1,000 or nothing to put per minimum wage. Remember when the $1,000 just got add to the 50 money, turn to 16? That don't make no sense. No, it go double. It too much. Pick a struggle, PNP. You know, pick a struggle. Is it that you want the people to do better, or you don't want them to do better any at all? Such man say import food must be taxed. The PNP say must speak on him on behalf. The man say education must be taxed. The PNP say must speak on him on behalf. Mark Golding says something about the British citizenship. The PNP said he must speak on his own behalf. The other day when I listen nationwide, when they must say, who are the leaders in the PNP? Then tell us the PNP have leaders that the people them don't really know. So it's like, I'm confused. Is it that Mark Golding and others are not really PNP? Because every question they're asked and every challenge will come up, the first thing they say, that one they not speak on the behalf of the PNP. But yet he's a PNP. So on whose behalf him speak? While if any member of the Jamaica Labour Party walk go down the road and buck them tour, and Andrew sending go buck in tour, these are the mindset of the individuals that are living within Jamaica. Them not like read to know the truth. Or them not listen to learn, they listen to respond. I was like that once, but thanks be to God, I have a better understanding of life. You're not going to tell me that the sky pink and I believe you. I'm going to look up. If you tell a PNP that the sky pink right now, no. Once a Marky G tell him, say, him not look up, you know. I tell her, say, true. Because of my blood and fire. The whole of them remember, you know, them go out with placard and them there protest and them ask them what them know about FID or Dr. Chan. Chung, what them say? Him can't check, him can't this, and all sort of nonsense. Even the sick, then draw out. So you have to understand, when we look at it, the mindset of the People's National Party versus the Labourites, we don't know what they know, but they instill something in them. Them have the mindset of suicide bombers. They're not going to be suicidal, but I say they have the mindset of. What they do is that they seem to manipulate them so much that whatever they say, they believe. No. When you listen, you have individuals when every time Mrs. Vaz was supposed, because I used to follow it, not because I didn't comment, you have them say, road can't, a taxpayers' money, a this and a that. But at the same time, when a PNP a fix the road without drain, thanks be to God, road a fix yes, so story. You realize it is not balance. If a laborer do something, a taxpayer money. A PNP do it, God bless him. This is the mindset. Look in Eastern Portland, them say Anglo Road Miss Vaz fix. While long as Southern St. James, them a ball for road in some areas. It confusing. So, my brother, the only thing we can say is that we have to take up the mandate to educate our brothers and sisters. The Bible says we have to be our brother's keeper. And so, when last evening my friend said to me, say, Fletcher, just leave it alone. Nobody create an unnecessary enemy, because the more you talk and give solid points, them hate you and it look like them just going to hate you more and more. So just leave it be. But every time when I scroll on social media, I see one like, my skin scratch me. It's like, I want to answer. It's like, I don't know how to scroll when I see the lie and not say nothing. It pain my heart for no one to listen. Well-thinking Jamaicans or individuals who should be well-thinking Jamaicans are actually just thinking shallow-minded. You can't, I don't know. I see where I say one love. So it reached a point where everybody, when we stand up at a particular area last evening, everybody I say, yeah, well, you don't know. Convert your page into a Taps and Roses and beg gift and just make a money while you're doing whatever. Because guess what? The more you speak and the more they hate you, because they cannot and will never challenge you because you have the facts. Do you realize, I will do so, do you realize that each time when an individual or an entity, and I'll use this particular individual as an example because I'm going to make an example out of her because she's too lying wicked. You realize when a particular individual said that them never get no assistance from the member of parliament and the member of parliament was only spending the government resources, or quickly I went and reminded the individual on social media that, listen, the tuition grant that you receive, don't be so delusional or quick to forget that, listen, you got help. But because you feel like that, listen, you want to make friends with individuals, you feel like you're going to try chastise Mrs. Vaz or tell lies at Mrs. Vaz, I will ever forget who got what or whatever the case may be, and I go up on social media and try to beat down lies on Mrs. Vaz. I'm going to remind you, just like I did with DG. I'm going to remind you, and that is the truth, and I'm going to constantly be doing that. Kizzy, what happened? Right, Cassie? Sweet, you, Cassie.
Hey, good evening, sir.
Yes, Chief.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Wonderful. I'm glad to see you in the space, man. I know you don't know who you're talking to, but it's me, see man.
Yeah, me recognize the voice, man.
Yes. Don't let anybody dissuade you from going elsewhere. You know, sometimes, and I'm not saying that this is the case, but sometimes what I find out by being in this space for a while is that sometimes people come and pose as neutrals when they're actually comrades trying to get one more soldier out of the way, because, as you rightly stated, comrades can't stand up to truth. They have no answer for it. Right? In fact, I was sharing with someone this evening that one of the ways, because it's a newly minted labor right, I was sharing with, and I said one of the ways you know the comrades is when they come telling you that they are neutrals, right? And you know, once you hear them come and say they are neutrals, that's usually a comrade. No two ways about it, right? But what they do, they come to disarm you first and foremost, make you get comfortable, right? Now, having said that, I want to touch on the politics and I want to issue a warning to Jamaica, but I'll give you a little bit of history first. And the history will put into context what I intend to. When the slaves were brought to Jamaica, at the time when they were brought here, the slaves who they couldn't manage, they decided that they were going to take them back to Africa. And this is literal history. So I want everybody to follow me. The 155 persons plus those on the For You page. They decided that they were going to take them back to Africa because they couldn't manage them. So the best place to keep them is Africa because they were giving them too much trouble in Jamaica. When they were on their way to Africa, these slaves, in as much as they were in chains and all sort of thing, gave them so much trouble that by the time they decided to take the second trip back to Africa, they said, boy, you know what, we're not taking them to Africa. Africa is too far, we can't deal with these slaves. So they took them to Nova Scotia in Canada, a place they call Africa Land. Right? And they lied to the slaves and told them that they were now in Africa. Right? They took them to Sierra Leone in Africa. That's where they took the first set of slaves. Took them back because they couldn't manage them. The second set, they took them to Sierra Leone in Nova Scotia, Canada. No, they took them to Nova Scotia in Canada. And they lied to them and told them that they were in Africa, and they made several promises to them. This is what the white men did. Several promises. They promised them land, they promised them this, they promised them that. Having done that, they did not fulfill their promises. The same thing they did in the United States of America. They promised them 40 acres and a mule after they ended slavery. 40 acres. That say that every slave would receive 40 acres. Some slaves are still waiting on 4 acres, much more 40. These are the descendants of Mark Jefferson Golding who did this. And I am unapologetic about it because the history is there to prove it. You can go to the University College of London's website and you'll find it. You can go to the archives in England and you will find the information that I'm presenting to you for those who want to know the truth and that they are not so tribal that they don't want to learn the truth. Right? These are the descendants of Mark Jefferson Golding who enslaved our people. And when they couldn't manage them, they decided that they were going to take them back because we cannot handle the people who decide not to just lay down and roll over and play dead. But when they took them to a strange land, they lied to them and say, hey, we took you back to where you came from. And then having taken them to the strange land, they made them promises that they had no intention of fulfilling. I am asking Jamaica, having gone through it, our forefathers went through it, are you willing to take the false promises of these colonizers and the man whose grandfather owned 138 slaves in Jamaica, not even in England, in Jamaica? His grandfather owned 138 slaves. And also, his grandparents on his mother's side also owned slaves. And not only that, but as part of his inheritance, Mark Jefferson Golding, he got money from the sufferings of our descendants who were sexually assaulted, who had to work 15, 16, 17, 18 hours, sometimes with 1 meal per day, ripped from their families, unalived when they wanted to rebel against the ill treatment that was meted out by the descendants of Mark Jefferson Golding to our descendants. And this man has not even choose to apologize. I'm talking Mark Jefferson Golding. We have never heard him comment on slavery. And he has never chosen to apologize. And based on the laws in Jamaica right now, the beaches are not owned by us. In fact, Every land that is government owned in Jamaica is referred to as crown land, which means that the King of England owned these lands. The government land that we call government land is the King of England own it. And Mark Jefferson Golding is standing in the way, blocking our decision to go republic so that we can remove it from the ownership of the King of England. And you trust this man? You want to put your future of your children when he can't even apologize over slavery. And he can't even say, you know what? Let me not stand in the way of these people that I claim that I love. And just sign off on it, and then we can negotiate about the final court of appeal afterwards. But no, he chose to lie about his intentions. FinSAC that took away 44,000 registered business and over 300,000 unregistered business in Jamaica. Right? Because for every unregistered business, there is at least 5 unregistered business and more than 500,000 jobs. FinSAC that was created by Mark Jefferson Golding. Mark Golding cannot even admit that he made an error. Instead, he wants to trick Jamaican people, to lie to them and tell them that FinSAC was created to help Jamaican people, when it was very clear that it wrecked the livelihood of Jamaican people and took away 40% of our GDP. What is 40%? You have 10 things and someone took away 4, only leave you with 6, which means that they took away nearly half of it from you. And that's the legacy of Mark Jefferson Golding. He's the MP of Jungle. And Jungle is the second worst constituency in Jamaica, outside of the one that Angela Brown Burke leads. And he cannot uplift the one constituency that he's in charge of. And usually, your constituency is a microcosm of the country that you intend to lead or you're leading. Now, if you cannot manage a constituency, is 62 others you want to manage when you cannot manage one? And you want to trust him when he's such a poor steward of one constituency, and you want to believe him that he's going to do a good job in managing 62 others on top of the one that he has, when he's not even managing the one that he has. When you go to Jungle and you're driving down Collie Smith Drive, if you look to your left, there's a huge garbage heap where the old theater was, almost across from the police station. Huge garbage heap. And when you come up Jungle, right? Grisham Road right there, so people are beat a roadside in a Jungle and wash a roadside. In the constituency that the man wants to be prime minister over. And you, in the name of politics, want to believe him? That he means Jamaica well? Just as his 4 parents lied to us, made promises and lied to us, and just as we wrecked Jamaica in the 90s, I suspect that is the same track record of his grandparents and the same track record of the 90s that he demonstrated what he intends to do to Jamaica. And the same way he blocked the Republic is the same thing I believe that he intends to do. But as white people are always able to smile and lie to your face, it's the same thing that he's carrying on. Over to you, Yeti.
Yeah, man, and thank you so much for that. You know, as a reminder, these are the things that I would have come to learn about this particular individual. And it's funny that you touch on his seat when you look at the constituencies that are the worst in Jamaica. There's no doubt it belongs to a PNP MP, and if you ask how many years they have been MP, they might tell yourself some 30, some 40 years. But as soon as a JLP individual rescues the constituency and try to do little work in it. You see, when they're not seeing all the roads are all this being done, you see here being black, there being black, you hear these complain, you hear that complain. But before, everybody's silent. I believe some seat must not be challenged, because it is going to be hard for these member of parliament and going there, because guess what now? You can imagine a JP representative get a jungle seat. How them gonna manage? Even Angela Brown Burke, how them gonna manage? You can imagine them seat, how you gonna fix that? It's gonna take billions, it's gonna take the whole budget to bring them seat there too. And that's just the truth.
You know, it can be fixed. Yeti, let me tell you why I think so. I used to live in Montego Bay, you see? Canterbury was the second worst constituency before Hero Clark went in there. Ask anybody who is from Montego Bay, they will tell you how Canterbury used to look. Right? It was running alongside down a back to where Angela Brown Burke is. And Hero Clark took Canterbury and transformed it. One moment, Paul Stewart. Right? Hero Clark took Canterbury and transformed it into a model area. I grew up in Flanker. Master Stevenson can tell you. When Flanker was violent, you have a place down there they call Hog City in Flanker, close to Providence Garden. They can tell you what it used to be like. See what Dr. Chang did with it, and PNP can't get it back again. Right? Because of what he has done to it. Right? And if our representative was serious the other day in terms of, and I'm not here to try and beat our representative, don't get me wrong. But if our representative was serious the other day, Bakto could have been won. Because Bakto was ready for a change. I spoke to them. The girl named Ouch them showed me, carry her camera and walk around and showed me what was happening. And they were sick and tired and ready for change. But sometimes lack of confidence make we feel so boy, we can't do it. But sometimes you have to just take a gamble and show PNP how the work it should be done. And once the work starts to be done, then people have to recognize, yes, you have some ungrateful one who want you fix it in a one term. But that's part of life, is part of the gamble that you have to take. Because we're about Jamaica. Right? And what is going to let them learn is now that it has been handed back over to the PNP, such as Portland and Westmoreland, and when them start feel it under them skin, them going to realize that they made a mistake, and them going to turn right back to the JLP when they realize the mistake that they have made. I can tell you that. Give them the first 2 years. I Spratt going to learn. So them lie the way man Colin Bell tell. I back up Colin Bell, One Love was there. I don't remember if One Love was there. I back him up on this live and ask him about the beaches in Portland, and him jump off of the live like a thief. Right? And if I had known that he was over there telling lies on Miss Vaz, I'd go over him chat. Go back him up on him chat. It's after the election I find out.
Like I said, some things you learn, but sometimes too late. But see, going forward, there are some things that will not left to the reprobate mind of individuals again. You have to just challenge the fiction and give facts, because what we understand is that while we think that everybody in East Portland would have better knowledge and know the truth, you are wrong.
That's true.
And not everybody have their own, and as such, they are quicker to believe that, listen, when Miss Vaza do wrong, or them are going to take away beach and listen to what she said. These are things that, and while I would have tried to, probably get in the mix to fix it, I was instructed to listen, just focus on the whole politics, like structure this, structure that, and because Portlanders know better. But at the end of the day, we realize that one of our mistakes.
Everyone knows much better.
some of the Portlanders in truth and in fact don't have a mind of their own and they believe anything. I
It's not Portland that's alone, you know.
Yeah. No, Portland now. West Portland.
One moment there,
All
Paul.
on.
Hold on there, Paul.
just a moment,
With due respect to you, sir, I'm gonna give you a chance. What I've realized is in politics is the more consistent speaker that people listen to. So in other words, no matter what you have said before, you have to ride it like a donkey.
Yeah.
Right?
Keep pressing it.
You have to continue to carry the word out there, the message.
True.
Politics is about, there are two, what does politics and a beauty pageant have in common? Popularity. Right? A beauty pageant, it's about popularity. Right? And based on the amount of popularity, then it determines how much votes you are going to get. And the votes determine who will win. Right? I think one of the weakness of the JLP over the years, and I thought that we would have learned it from last year, from the parish council election, is that we sit back and we rely on the logics and the intelligence of the Jamaican people. Not in Jamaica. You don't sit down and wait on that. It's not going to work. You have to be out there hammering it every single day. For 2.5 years, a group of us, some you know, some you don't know, were on the live, especially when they were telling lies against the Prime Minister. Hurt me, man. Me thinking about it and it hurt me. And as we come out with paper, with document, read it, explain it, and push back against the lie. Thank God for people like Chuck, Munchie, Rusty, Winner, Travi, and a few others. Ren's girl, Esther that pass. I don't think you know Esther. Esther that pass. Philippians, Classic, Dujan. Right? These are some of the people. You have a few others that were there from day one when labor rights were hiding because they were too ashamed and them never know if to defend it. We were there. You know how much night me have worked the following morning at 5 and all 3:30 me up on live, pushing back against these foolishness. Because guess what? Jamaica meant a lot and still means a lot. And I saw it as a battle between good and evil. That's how far I take it. And that Jamaica was at an inflection point, at a crossroads. If we had lost this election, it would have set us back another 40 years. Mm-hmm. And despite the billions of dollars that them spend, I'm not afraid to say it. Because I have proof. Billions of dollars that them spend. God would not allow it to happen. Right? And we have to continue to fight. We can't relax. Don't take anything for granted. Don't underestimate anybody. Continue to push back against it. We have to be out here. Yes, we have won. The honeymoon is over now. We have to continue to fight. These people on election night, the reporter stated that they said that their campaign for the next election begins now, which means that the lies start again fresh.
Mm-hmm. And we have seen them.
And the sabotage also. You hear what Damon Crawford said the other day when they were interviewing him about the violence in St. Catherine the other day?
No, I didn't.
He said that the people from Spanish Town, because of the proximity of Spanish Town, have come over from there. And I got good information that the group of them that begins with K had a whole lot to do with what took place in St. Catherine. And so the police flushed out one of them the other day, proving that it's true. And another recent violence. And guess what? These people want the numbers to go back so that them can point a finger. But when the Prime Minister was supposed to get credit for investing $93 billion into the police force, they said it's not him supposed to get the credit, but when the blame is there, them want to blame him. Eh? You don't see that these people are not honest. And I learned right there, my brother.
Alright, and sorry that my friend's internet seemed to have left her along the way, but I would wish she had cleared the air, because she's a counselor, and I would love for her to give the insight that there is no letter that has been drafted up by the Portland Municipal Corporation to support the lies that the PNP have been telling and the media that indeed Prospect Fishing Village was being taken and removed. There's no individual.
Yeti, inbox me, see? Because my other phone with your number in it, it's down. So that number, you can't access me on it again, and I don't have your number stored in this phone. However, and I will send you the documentation to show the gentleman, the same gentleman who spread the lies, is suing the government when the government wanted to give people free beach. I'll send you the document, the court document. This is not just a newspaper article. The same gentleman who is telling lies on the government. And I can call his name, Colin Bell, better known as Shaka Fame, sued the government when the government wanted to make the beaches free for the residents. I can call names, and them can sue me for the truth. Yeah. I will send you the document, sir, and you can read it online.
Night Kerry, yes, man. And what is happening is that I have been contacted by individuals right across the constituency that they wish to be a part of a task force to deal with propaganda and lies. So I realize what started out as just me clearing the air has impacted a lot of lives, and as such, individuals are now willing to be a part of whatever information can help to spread the truth, so that, thanks one love, so that individuals are properly informed right across the constituency and in Jamaica and a whole. And thinking about it, when each time I remember my friend saying, hey, listen, man, no bother, follow it up no more, man. Just make it neutral, just focus on utilizing the page to just make funds. I said to myself, say, you know, that's not really my style, though. Me not even recognize, me not look at the following this and the following that people tell me, say them realize the page reach this part or that part. But at the end of the day, all of it started with politics. And I am not on the platform like the other individuals on TikTok too, where always a big the diaspora for help with roof and help with this. As you can see, even the rainfall, there's no leakage in my home. And me not broken on Target or nowhere for clothes. And Joshua not thief my money from any part where me keep. And every mango on my tree, whether them green or ripe, it's a possibility that I can have a fruit when I wish. So just read between the lines of what I've said. All the bloggers on them other side, they are primarily focusing on money and the $1 billion that they were promised by their party at the time. My focus is simple. Spread the truth, nothing but the truth, and have the facts to show. Because I am very much open to any challenge from anybody. And as such, once you are able to provide facts, I am willing to listen, and I will work with whatever truth you have. But
I just want to mention something since you mentioned the $1 billion. You know what I find very interesting? Mm-hmm. 2.5 to 3 years ago, our Prime Minister, in his budget presentation, did mention that there was $1 billion that was earmarked for the creative industries. And we, not even labor rights, don't mention it. But the PNP stole the idea and run go out there and put it out there. And the same set of people running down $1 billion, thinking that is just one of them that going to get the $1 billion, and not understanding that the idea, first of all, I don't even believe that it's true. I believe it's a bait that was used to get them out, such as people like Triple X. And I'm a little more different from you. Whilst I will not be disrespectful, I'll call names. People like Triple X came out because he hear about the $1 billion. Right? And I challenged Triple X online when he come out talking about Jamaica and suffering. And I tell him to get 20 items in Jamaica. Name 20 items in Jamaica. And tell me the price of them. And I'll tell him the price of the same items here in America. And show him that Jamaica is far cheaper than America with food prices. Any 20 items that he wants to name. And tell me the price in Jamaica. And not only will I tell him, but I'm willing to show him the cost of those items here in America. Show them that what they're saying is false. Right? Saltfish in America is $13.99 a pound. Right? Convert that to Jamaica. It's $2,100 a pound for saltfish. Right? A tin of sweet milk is $3.47 for a tin of sweet milk. That is $520 for 1 can of milk. 20-pound pack of Goya rice is $20.99. Convert that to Jamaican currency is $187 a pound. The regular rice. And I can go on and on with the list.
Somebody asked how much a crab legs.
Now, guys, Triple X that. Triple X can tell them quicker than me. Right? But I don't get involved in the crime that I'm committing. Right? It's a crime, but I want to stick to the issues.
Yeah, not
right?
enough importance.
Yeah, man. Because I don't want us to be sidetracked by the criminal activity that he committed. Yes, it shouldn't have happened, but I want to push back against the lies that these people are promulgating. Right? Because they have no antidote for the truth. Absolutely none. Right? The truth is kryptonite to them. Right? So, and I want to use this opportunity to appeal to people like Dre Bryan. Dre Bryan, obviously, he went to university. Not obviously, he did go to university. And I want to also appeal to Andre Stevenson, with his initials being ASS. Right? That's his initial, by the way. His literal Andre Stefano Stevenson. That's his initial. Those are his initials. Right? Right? And Andre Stevenson and Dre Bryan, I think they're selling themselves short. And I'm appealing to them. Both of you young men obviously have a penchant for journalism. And instead of allowing the PNP to bait both of you and you come out and telling lies on behalf of the PNP, why don't you build a platform and let it grow? You notice how neighbor is growing by telling the truth? Why don't you do that and you graduate from there eventually and probably you'll own your own radio station after a while? So you'll be known as a platform of credible news item. You don't have to rely on the JLP or the PNP. All you have to do is rely on presenting the truth. Objective truth. People will respect you and you'll get support from both sides. The noble PNP will support you and the JLP certainly will support you. Right? And you'll grow from there. And the neutrals also, they will look to you as a credible source of news. And you don't have to rely on any false promise of $1 billion that will have to split among 30 odd people. And when your roof blow off, you have to come and be appealing on social media for help. And I'm not trying to throw any stones at you. I'm being sincere about it. Not trying to throw any stones. I'm just saying, don't let the PNP bring you to that standard, to that level. Shake yourself off from them. PNP only look to use people, and when they have no more use for you, they throw you in a corner. All right? Yeah.
So let me say this, and we can work together as a team and help others to understand what they are reading, because numerous times I would have read just the clickbait of the Gleaner, and you see where integrity commission this that, but reading the body you'll understand that it says integrity clears this or that and give that and that, but up top you see where integrity clamps down on this and that. It's a lot of individuals don't understand that it's a clickbait for you to go and actually read it because they want. But individuals on them see, I see clamps down and Andrew clamps down and this one clamp down and that one. Then just take the whole part there and go and post on social media and say, see the Jamaica, I see clamp down for Andrew. But them not read in the body to see that the Integrity Commission had clamped down on Andrew financial, this, that, but later found out that there were no irregularities. It means that there's nothing off, but because them only jump with the one piece here, so then they are let us and them gone and them all night on social media and I just they but integrity clamp down and them are gonna talk from morning till night on it. And they themselves that have already been led astray and believe in the lie, starting to sell it to thousands of individuals. And this is how the PNP operates. From one lie to another, and they will never correct themselves. You see, if I'm here and I'm saying something and I'm not correct and I realize it, I'm going to come back and I'm going to inform an individual lesson. I made a mistake and as such, this is the correct information. Them, you'll never see that. So I want everybody to understand that PNP did not take time off. They are back in full campaign mode and I don't know how them do it. While it seems like we may be going on a vacation to just say, right, then we have this and that. We must understand that these individuals, they are hungry for power. And they are going to try everything to boost the moral of their supporters to get them back on point so that them can go into the next election and believing that the 28 plus others will come. But we need to ensure that individual understands that from the 28, we will be taking others because these, especially the Dayton, the Buchanan, the Bunting, the Shea, Chris and them others, a lot of them are going to lose them seat in the next election. You know? There's no doubt in that, you know. Because they're all just, some of them are just brand name, some of them no purpose at all. So I just want individuals, especially the labor items, stop buying to the lies. Stop being tricked, stop being manipulated. You have a question, don't be afraid to ask anybody who reads, who have understanding, and who won't trick you. And on election day, go and go mark your ex-year party, not stand up a polling station and wait to see nobody. Go mark your ex-year party because the party work. And I can tell you there are a lot of projects that I am confident that this Jamaica Labour Party administration will get completed. And Jamaica will go further in transformation. Every day I check my friend's status at St. Thomas to see when the KFC are open. All me I see at the billboard, they tell what they on it. And even though I say that I go up on a diet, but if I ever forget, what my friend always say if he eat, the wrap, the veggie wrap. If he's even drive from Portland, go over there, get the veggie wrap, and meet up with some of the laborers and remind them, listen, it is not just about the Kentucky, but it's about the urban center that will bring so much investment into the parish. And I will be there whenever the Kentucky open up and anything else. May I go over there? And me here say Ritz, me here say some more other things I go there. I mean I have to drive go to Kingston now. Go Devanos. Come here say to go over there. So me go bit back and forth because I want individuals to understand this is happening until of course until or one by the beach by the so until or one is completed, you know, say me I go have bragging rights because me have the beach right over there, so me have sea view. So St. Thomas are the thing for now until Portland one completes. So I just want, if there's anybody here from St. Thomas, I don't know the date when the Kentucky go open and other things are going to be open over there, just send an invite. I'll join you there and we have a good time. Once I'm free, we have a good time. I will communicate and we can go live so that others can see the interaction and see what it means to the people living in St. Thomas. It's not about fast food, it's about the development, job creation, and all of that. Well, let me say this before I go. Mrs. Vaz is always seeing what is happening here. I won't go into details. Just believe when I said Mrs. Vaz is always seeing what is happening on this platform, whether live, whatever post, she will see what is happening. And let me tell her that she love and appreciate every single one I know. And one day in the very near future, I am positive that you will be seeing her and she will be saying a few things to you guys. Of that I am certain. Mrs. Wallace will be saying some things, whether it is to say farewell, whether it is to say she's here to stay, but she will be here just to share love and to encourage others to remember that the Jamaica Labour Party is indeed the party for Jamaica. Me no want no Vezia, Alma Martin. And Natasha, good evening, sister. I must tell everybody thanks for joining. Kizzy, but yet still them want come run like them think people full show of life. Come in, Miss Buds, you are still right. And let me tell you, man, whenever the dust settles, and should Mrs. Vaz decide that she is going back to the polls, if she decides to go back to the polls, I can tell you, there will be no challenge. Because some mistakes that have been made by many will not be relived, and that much I can assure you. If you look right across the constituency, I don't know, but garbage just a pile up from east to west. Everywhere you look, garbage a pile up. Normally when I see one bag on the road, I contact whomever and say, listen, calling from whatever, I realize that this is happening or that is happening, and it will be started as soon as possible. Now it look like them, nobody are going to tell the man to listen, the place a turn dung leap. No water and the noise are not trucking. Well, I see a lot of trucks, but I don't hear of anybody getting any free water. The worm is not too much of them concern right now because I realized that someone, I just remember, the rats are singing that they are marching on, and them not care what the labor rights them say. They might take over Port Antonio because Action gone. Action wanted Port Antonio to remain clean and green, but as far as I can see, there will be a lot of rat infestation because not everybody believes in keeping their constituency clean and green. Like Mrs. Vaz keeping it as her home, very clean. Indeed, Mrs. Vaz have over 8,000 votes, and others will be added to this that did not come out. And she loves and appreciates everybody, but she just taking some time. And I'm certain that in due time, Mrs. Vaz will come, and whatever must be said or must be done will be done or will be said. So I'm just freestyling. I'm just reading some of the comments before I go, Miss Vaz. Where you there? Wanna just tell Miss Vaz in the comments on the love her. And that's that. Trust me, she will see it.
All right, so Mrs. Vaz, you're loved and appreciated, man. You know, it kind of feel awkward saying it, but it's true. You're loved and appreciated, and you know, as labor rights, we believe in spreading the work of our party, and this is the party that has always built Jamaica. The history has proven itself even before Bustamante was in politics, and how the Jamaica Labour Party was formed. Yet one of the things that I think is important for us to drive home to the public, because I realize there's a lack of knowledge as to how government functions, central government versus local government. And one of the lies that the PNP sometimes carry is that they are not getting money to do this and they are not getting money to do that. So as part of the process going forward, I would suggest that as often as you possibly can, share how local government works, how central government works, the role of the Prime Minister versus the role of the Mayor, versus the role of the MP versus the role of the councillors, and the amount of money that councillors get vis-a-vis the amount of money that the MPs get in terms of CDF and all of these things. And when a councillor is elected, what jurisdiction they have, you know, so that we push back against these lies, right? So PNP can't fool the people, right? And come out and say them never get no money for this and them never get no money for that, and it's true, our party not in power, why we can't do this. We need to educate the people in that regard.
True. So, like I said, for East Portland there will be a task force. We have already started, and we're still vetting some individuals. And I can tell you, man, I've never known that there were so many individuals who I knew personally would have been so in love with Mrs. Vaz's work, and they have seen, even though they would have been like, no, you know, because of the work they do, they don't really get involved in politics per se before. But having lost the election, and let me tell you something, Joshua, before I go. If you don't think Labour right upset so Mrs. Vaz lose, check the PNP them will live in East Portland. You know, somebody said to me the other day, if we believe, say, the 8,000 odd that voted for Mrs. Vaz, if 2,000 not take on a PNP, we make a sad mistake more. So a lot of PNP wanna feel like and would have recognized as PNP really went out and they voted for Mrs. Vaz. And the other day I proved this to be truthful. As a very well-known PNP activist in East Portland saw me the other day. She was not alone, and I was by a mechanic shop doing some work on my vehicle, and me say she and some others walked towards me, but they didn't care because of me. But I thought that, you know, probably like how them see me now, them I go jeer me, say, boy, action lose or whatever the case may be. So I say, you know what, I go first them with this, you know. So as me see the individual, me say what, me turn to the individual, I say, what are we you get rid of action? And to my surprise, when the individual look at me and me see the tears are come and say, me carry the action, work so hard. I'm confused and others inside the premises was looking like them and say, I want to go on here so. And the person started saying, Miss Vaz work too hard for lose. And the ungrateful labor right there, and she started cuss them. And me I say, but I'm confused. And I say, how you reach to this? And the person I say, if you believe that because you see we dress up in the orange every day and ball, power, we not acknowledge the work of Mrs. Vaz, you're sadly mistaken. And she went on further and said, whole heap who we see in our green did not support Mrs. Vaz.